Welcome back to Talk to Me with the coach, Mike Reed Mayden, as we're visiting with DJ, pitcher for the Chicago White Sox. DJ, my show reaches a young audience. I got a lot of young high school baseball players out there that want to know what it's like being a major league pitcher.
You know, it's a dream. You know, a lifetime of hard work and aspirations to get to this level. Now that I'm finally here, I mean, it was all worth it. You know, it's a hard road, and you got to work to get to where you're at. And I mean, it's all worth it at the end of the day. I get to play in front of fans and make a difference out here, and the kids will look up to me and they might listen to what I got to say if it's good things, you know, regarding life and just getting to where I'm at now.
And you know, you have what's the word I want to say? Unheralded role. Yeah. Of being a long reliever. You know, you really don't get credit. You come in with a game on the line and you in pressure situations. You know, how do you deal with that pressure?
You know, it's probably something a lot of kids couldn't relate to because in high school and college you really don't have that long man as much as you do here with a long season. But the way I handle it, man, I just know that I'm helping this team out. We got a really strong back end of the bullpen, and if I can keep those guys in their set roles, I'm helping out the team that way. But as far as preparing every day, I'm still doing my lifting, I'm doing my running, I'm trying to take care of my body, eat right, because there's stretches where I won't throw for 8 days at a time, and then I'm called upon to throw 3 innings. Yeah. And other times where I'm throwing 3 out of 4 days. So it's a real strenuous position to have, but you just got to take care of yourself.
You know, I used to coach college ball, and I scouted for 5 major league teams, and I would always tell my pitchers that there's a difference in a pitcher and a pitcher.
Yeah, and a thrower.
You know, so when you come in, you have to be a pitcher. Yeah. You can't, no room for error. And when the crowd start booing, what goes through your mind?
You know, that's tough because you want these guys on your side. You know, we're all trying to do as best we can out here, and rightfully so. These guys paid to come and watch us play, and we're their entertainment. And if we're not doing the job that they feel fit, you know, they're going to let us know. And at the same time, you know, I would just say that whatever I do every day, as far as like my sidelines go, and touch and feel with throwing the ball to catch or certain pitches and all that, I'm just trying to execute the same thing on the mound. And I really believe that if I can execute my pitch with some movement in the zone, that I'm going to more times than not have success. So that's what it is with me. I try and put everything else out aside and just execute what I practice all day long.
Yeah. And when I used to coach college ball, believe me, my pitchers would hear from the dugout when they wasn't throwing strikes. How tough is it to get major league hitters out?
You know, it's nothing easy. It's been a trial, and the last couple of years I've had some good success at the big league level. Before that, it was just, you know, kind of young and just trying to stuff people out as far as I'm going to put sinkers down here. And, you know, these guys are way better than that. You can't go out there with just one pitch unless you're Matt Thornton throwing 97 from the left side. You know, those guys don't come around too often. So, I mean, my formula to success is get ahead in the count and throw everything that moves. I don't try to throw anything straight, and I practice repetition so much on throwing a cutter and a sinker for a strike that, you know, they're going to hit the ball, but hopefully they don't square it up, and I'm going to, more times than not, get outs out of it.
I guess one of the biggest difference in professional pitchers on the college level, or, you know, I would teach my guys, the hitters from the hitting standpoint, when you're behind in the count, you sit on a pitch in a certain zone. On the major league level, you're subject to see a pitcher throw a slider, change up at any time in the count, so that's kind of the difference.
That's where a huge difference. The guys come up, you know, AAA hitters, and you know, you're talking about a 3-1 count or a 2-0 count. You might get a changeup when you're just sitting dead red fastball. That guy gives you a changeup right in the zone, and you just top it. And there goes your at bat. He won, you lost, and now that's in the back of your mind for the next time around. So, you know, it works both sides. If a pitcher doesn't have confidence in throwing that second or third pitch when he's behind the count, that's when you get hit. You got to be able to do those things, or you got to locate really well.
You know, this is draft week here, so. Wasn't too long ago you was on somebody's draft list. Yeah. So take us back when you found out you were drafted.
You know, I had been drafted out of high school. It was real, you know, that was kind of a surreal experience. It was pretty late, and I decided to go to junior college. So I surpassed that draft. And the next time was in junior college. I went my second year of junior college, I got drafted again. And it's just one of those things, as I said earlier, you know, I've worked my whole life through Little League and high school and college ball to play professional baseball. And when you get that chance, you don't really know what to do. You've never been there before. It's a whole new frontier that you got to explore, and you got to prove yourself every year, man. Every year it's a new slate clean, and you got to prove yourself again and again and again. Even when you get here, you got to do it. So it never stops.
So first of all, for those youngs out there, where did you go to high school and college at?
I went to high school in Northern California, the Bay Area, Hayward High School. I went to junior college locally there called Chabot Community College, and then 1 year at Arizona in Tucson, Pima Community College.
So you're a West Coast guy.
I'm a West Coast
So I
kid.
got to ask you, how's the Chicago weather?
I love it. You know what? Minus the humidity, it's pretty similar. Nice and cool days like this. You'll have some hot days. You got to dress in layers. Morning is cold, evening it gets a little warm, and then it cools down again. So I don't mind this at all. It's better than that Kansas City weather. I tell you what, when I was down there, that's pretty harsh right there.
So were you head and shoulder above the class when you played high school and college ball?
You know, my arm was. I couldn't throw strikes. I was wild. I hit really well. But that's probably about it. My speed wasn't. My velocity was pretty good. But I definitely didn't have the quick track, man. I played a lot of different teams. I asked for my release. I mean, I got a long story with all that, but
another show.
Yeah, that's a whole nother time. We don't have enough time for stretch for that.
Just this last question, again, for our youngsters out there. You played high school ball, you played college ball, you got drafted, played in the minor leagues. When you got that call to the big leagues, tell us about that experience.
You know, it was a very tough year to start that year, if you don't mind if I backtrack a little bit. Because, I mean, I think they should know about how political this game is. I had some great years with the Pirates. Matter of fact, my last year with them, I had over 30 saves and like a mid-1 ERA, and still didn't get put on the roster. Went to the Fall League, did great there, and still didn't get put on the roster. So, I mean, I did everything I could possibly do outside of praying, you know. And it didn't matter. It did not matter what I did on the field. I just wasn't in their plans. Thank God they have the Rule 5 draft. And I was in Mexico playing winter ball, doing very well down there too, just to keep trying promoting myself that I can get people out. And I got a call from the Royals. Albert Baird decided to Rule 5 me to the big leagues in Kansas City. And that's when it all hit home. You know, that's when all this I've achieved, I'm now going to have the opportunity to do it. And I really believe that I was going to be a big league player at some point in my life. You know, I always thought I was going to be as a hitter. Didn't work that way, but I'm here now, and you know, I thank God for that.
Well, we're going to do a show in the future about the business part of the game, because being a scout, I tell the kids this level is a business. It's not a game, but to the fans, it's still a game. That's another show. Well, we thank you for your time, the coach, giving you youngsters some insights on the major league levels with DJ.
Thanks,